Hey, everyone, and welcome to our Team Destiny Elite Team Conference Call. My name is Lynette Bledsoe, and I'm an independent sales representative with Avon. My husband and I have been with Avon for 5 years. Prior to that, he worked in several different network marketing companies, and his journey began in 1997. I joined him in 1999, and just give me a second because it sounds like we have some background noise. Give me a second.
Because it hurt. But anyway, what I was saying was that girl.
Okay, perfect. Now we're all muted. So we had achieved small successes while working in those companies and made somewhat good money. However, the best thing that we did while working in these companies was we became great students, learning everything that we could from our mentors. So now we want to pass that knowledge on to you. So I want to give you a brief overview of Avon. Avon has been in business for over 126 years, has survived several depressions and recessions. Avon is a company that helps you imagine a better future. It helps you improve your confidence. It helps you control your life. So with Avon, you can be the best that you can be. They provide the tools and the training to help you succeed and an opportunity to earn as much as you want. This company has millions of loyal customers and a community of over 6.5 million representatives worldwide. Avon provides hope and helps to empower women and a few good men. So imagine making an extra $500 a month. What would you do with that? Would you pay bills, go shopping? This can all be achieved with Avon. You can set your own hours and be your own boss. Avon is the largest direct selling company in the United States with products that are all well-known brands. So there's 2 ways to make money with Avon. You can sell the products, and those leaders that are on the phone right now, you know that you can also build a team and make money with their leadership programs. So just use an example. If you recruit at least 5 people, you can get promoted to what's called a unit leader. The next level after that is advanced unit leader. Then the next one is executive unit leader. And the highest level in Avon is called senior executive unit leader, which is what level we all strive to be. Now, the average income for a senior executive leader is well over $130,000. Now, that's more than the average income for a nurse, more than the average income for a teacher, and more than the average income for an administrative assistant. So with Avon, you're also encouraged for all of your achievements, and you can receive free trips to places such as Alaska, Hawaii, Spain. There's another one coming up for Disney, another one to Mexico, and another one to Puerto Rico. So tell me you can't win some free trips here. So seize the opportunity, and guess what? To get started with Avon, it's only $10. So get with the person who invited you to this call, get your questions answered, and get started today. So let's continue with the call. And for those of you who are new, you know that every week we have an open, brief overview of the company. And the purpose of that is so that you guys can invite prospects or maybe a lead that hasn't joined you yet. This call is for everyone, even if they're not with Avon. But now before Gary shares with you the top things that we've learned from the best of the best in Avon, let me just start by saying to make sure you have a pen and paper ready, because these techniques are exactly what we learned and how we were able to move up to senior in 3 years. So as I share with you all, for those of you who joined us last weekend, remember, I didn't start the business when Gary and I were in a previous company. I didn't start that business right away with our former company. But when I did, we watched and duplicated everything that we saw those top leaders do in those companies. And we noticed little things, little adjustments that they did. And those little adjustments and he's going to go through them all in a second. But those little adjustments made a huge impact and change in their business. So I'm telling you that to make sure, that's why I keep saying make sure you have a pen and paper, because it could be just a little adjustment that you have to do, which is going to take your business to the next level. For example, especially if you're on Team Destiny, you know that when we hold our leadership schools, check out the people who are sitting in the front of the room. Or when you go to an event in your local area, check out where the top leaders in your company or in your district, check out where they're sitting. Why? Because you're not going to why you want to sit in, they're probably sitting in the front. Why do they do that? Because in the front, you're not going to get any distractions. You're going to feel exactly and understand exactly what that speaker is saying to you. And another example, when we were told by our leader that he or she was holding a conference call, for example, just like this one, we were expected to get our teams onto that call. Why? Because something that leader said, or maybe they have a special guest speaker on that call, something that person says may finally put that fire in your team that you needed them to finally get, that's going to help you reach a senior executive unit leader. Everyone who has joined our team since we started these calls back in October of 2011, if you're on Team Destiny, you know that the first thing we do when we speak to you, person to person, or over the phone, the first thing that we do is we either invite you over to an event, invite you to a webinar, or invite you to a conference call. There's so many things that are here to help you in your Avon business that if you don't succeed, it's because of only one person. Hold on. Give me a second. Do me a favor. Walk to your mirror. Take a look. Yep, it's because of you. As you can tell from the beginning of this call, like I said, we had a brief overview of the company. Why not take advantage of our calls? Those are done on a weekly basis. That's and all that is, they have all your prospects or maybe an old lead share. All they have to do is listen to the call for about 4 minutes to hear a brief presentation. Whether they choose to stay on the phone after that is up to them. But guess what? If they do, only you are going to benefit from them staying on the phone, because that prospect is going to go away saying, wow, is that what you guys do in Avon? I had no clue. How many times have you been told by a friend or somebody that they think you're just running around selling products? No, there's a whole different mindset here as far as leadership. And let me also end by saying this, and only because I was having a brief conversation with somebody in our open leadership group, and I wanted to share because I felt it needed to be said. As you guys begin to grow your teams, and you're going to have people on and off your team questioning things that you do and questioning things that you don't do with your teams, or maybe you're not helping people in the district or something like whatever the negative thing is going to come to you. Keep in mind that a leader on or off your team who is truly a leader will never make you feel bad. You have reps who aren't on your team who are going to try to tell you or say things to you that make you feel bad. But this is one thing that I'm sure Gary's going to address with the top 10 things. This is why we always talk about personal development, why you need to work on yourself, because it's so important. And I'm sure the top leaders that are on the phone right now, I'm sure that they could all agree. They probably have gone through similar situations or people questioning them all the time. But at the end of the day, you and only you, that's why I said go look in the mirror, you and only you work your Avon business the way that you see fit and the way that you're going to keep your bills paid. So never worry about what anybody else says. So let's not waste any time because we have a lot of stuff to cover. So here's Gary with the top 10 from the best of the best.
Thank you so much for that, Lynette, and you are absolutely 150% correct. And, and I'm glad that person on the leadership group had the courage to say that she's feeling this. And I remember being there. It's so funny because we're still experiencing that to this day. You guys are not making $100,000 yet in Avon. How can you go out there and train people and teach people? Because you know what it is? It's not about where we are right now. It's where we're going, and it's about who wants to come with us on this journey to success. So that's why at one point, it used to bother me a lot when I first got started. That was why I did not want to get started in this company, because this is the only company that I've ever been in and it's not the company, it's the people in which the leaders are not willing to share. I mean, there's no competition out there. We should not have any competition. No one should say that someone is doing something wrong. And like Lynette said, which was so powerful, she said a true leader, a person who has a heart of a servant, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, a true leader will never make you feel wrong by going out there and helping your team and helping, to create something different and becoming a leader and stepping into the leadership role to be able to help influence someone else. See, a leader is a person that does something that creates in you the power to do something that you didn't want to do before. And it's not with fear and intimidation. It's with true leadership. It's with motivation and inspiration. That's what it's about. And that's exactly. But first you have to lead yourself. And when you start leading yourself, you'll start doing exactly what I did and exactly what Lynette did. We don't care what anyone say. We know that the true leaders are the ones that are listening in. The true leaders. You don't have to be a senior. You don't have to be advanced. You don't have to be an executive to be listening and be a leader. You don't have to be a unit leader. You could be a candidate. You could be an individual with no one on your team. You still can be a leader. You can start planning now like I used to do when I first had no one on my team in my other companies. I had no one. I was making plans of exactly how I was going to share information with them when I did get a team. That's leadership. I was making plans right then. I was ready to work my plan. So when I got that one person that got on my team, guess what? I was talking to him like it was 100. And I got that next person on my team, I was talking to them like it was 200. Because I knew where I was going. I knew where I was headed. See, my goal is basically this. The more people that I get on my team that's out there working this Avon opportunity, that means selling and recruiting, and the more people I got doing that, the more money I'm going to make. See, and that's my ultimate goal. I don't care what I listened to a video the other day, and I remember somebody said, and it was so powerful. He said, you know what? I stopped caring what other people thought. I stopped caring about what the next person is doing. And that's when my success took off. And that's exactly what we want to tell you. Don't care what other people are doing. There should be more conference calls. On Sunday night, they should have about 4 or 5 top Avon leaders helping people. On Wednesday night, Tuesday night, Monday night. It should be every night. It should be. And other companies I was in, let me just name some of the companies, and I'm going to show you some incomes of these top earners in these companies. I mean, and I hate to talk about other companies, but I want you really to understand that they have companies. They're making the incomes in these companies. And you know why they're making the income in these companies that I'm about to say? It's because they're willing, the leadership in those companies are willing to share. They're willing to help you. They don't care whether you're on their team or not on their team. You got people in the top income earner in network marketing itself. It's in a company called Organo Gold where they sell coffee, $1.2 million a year. A month. Excuse me. Said it wrong. $1.2 million a month. You talk about stupid money? That's crazy money. $14.4 million a year. You know why? Because they're willing to share. They're willing to help it. There's no competition. You think that he is the only one that has a conference call that he wants only everybody to go to because he's living a dream? No, he wants somebody to go to the person who's not making $1.2 million a year, somebody that's only making maybe $10,000, $2,000, $5,000 in the income, but willing to step up to the plate and share leadership and go out there and influence their team and help some people. That's exactly what makes everything. I love what Molly Stone Bibb said the other day on her conference call on Friday. She said, watch out, leaders. Watch out, all you leaders in company that don't want to share like how. Watch the new generation. Watch what, and I love when she said that is a serious quote right there, because you need to watch out. You need to be going out there. Stop trying to put the evilness on everyone else that's trying to help their team. I admire so much the people that just come into Avon or the people that's been in Avon for a while, but yet and still they're willing to step up and make videos. They're willing to step up and make create some some documents, some training documents. They want to step up and just share with you what is working for them and share with everyone, share with their team and everyone else. I had a call with someone today trying to help them out, get themselves set up online and help them out. And I felt good after the call. I felt, and she's on this call now, I felt extremely good to be able to help someone else. I just wish I could have got back to her faster so that way I could have helped her at a sooner time. But I felt so good. I got off the call knowing that I helped someone else, and I was able to share with them that's something that can help them further their business. You think I'm supposed to feel bad? I'm supposed to feel like, well, you're not in my team, I can't help. No. That's why these other companies are making the type of money. The next income earner, $1 million a year. New Skin, Amway, $1 million a year. $725,000, same company. Organo Gold, Empower Network, $588,000 a month. These are all the monthly incomes I'm naming. A month they're making this. The lowest name on here, the 21st person was in the 20th person, Herbalife, $300,000 a month. You know how come that's happening? Because they're willing to share. They've removed the competitive mindset, and they tap into the creative mindset in which they can go out there and share with people and share with teammates and create these training things that can help people move from one place to the next place. See, when I create these things, I don't create them to try to get money for myself. I create them because I'm following exactly what Zig Ziglar said. If I can help enough people get what they want, by all means, I'm going to get what I want. What does it say in the Bible? If you go out there and help someone, and I'm paraphrasing, but you go out there and you help others, and guess what's going to happen? God's going to give it back to you tenfold. That's why Lynette and I have a heart of sharing and helping people. That's why there are other calls out there, or Lisa Monason, Molly, and Tawana Lyles, and all these different people sharing. Even people like Angelique AG, who's sharing with her team, helping people. That's why when we get you watch and see what's going to happen in the next 5 years as far as the growth of the incomes in this company because of the trend that we're starting now. Because we had the courage and said, that's it. I don't care who's not doing anything. We're going to share with you. We're going to help you. See, these calls are not trying to tell you that Lynette and I are living the dream now. We can't tell you that because we're not living the dream now. See, when I'm making $1.2 million a month, I'm living the dream. I'm not living the dream at $500,000. I'm not living the dream at $100,000 a month. I'm not living that dream yet. Lynette asked me, when you going to stop, Gary? When you going to stop? I said, when I have no more breath left. That's when I'm going to stop. If I'm old enough and I have to put my teeth in a solution and I can get on and make a phone call, I'm going to make a phone call to somebody. I'm going to keep doing it until I get there. Because that's what's meant for me to do. That was what's meant for us to do, to help others and to be able to live their goals and dreams. So we're not getting on this call, created this call 2 years ago to tell you, we live in the dream, so you need to only listen to us. No, we're telling you that we're in the trenches with you. We're in the struggle with you. We're in the process with you. We're there because we know that. We know how it feels. See, I know how it feels to have someone don't show up and you go knock on their door and you got your business attire on and you're ready to sign them up. You got your kid, and you're ready to knock on, bing, and you hear in the background, tell them I'm not here. Tell them I'm not here. I know how that feels. I know how it feels to get on the phone and say, hello, I'm calling you back. You requested some information about working in Avon. I received your information. How can I help you? I know how it feels to hear. Click. I know how that feels. So I'm with you out there in the trenches. I know how it is to sit outside in the sun or the cold and have your Avon table looking good and have signs up and people walking by. And you ask them, hey, have you ever thought you want to fill out a free raffle? Or would you like an Avon brochure? And they walk by and say, no, I don't like Avon. I'm allergic to it. I know how that feels. So that's why we are sharing with you on these calls are designed for motivation and inspiration, sharing with you some tips and strategies we've learned over the years to try to help you and help us in our journey to succeed. That's what these calls are designed for. So I'm addressing anyone out there who says, well, you know what, they're not living the dream yet. You are right, not yet. Because I don't think anybody in Avon's income, as far as leadership, would qualify for Gary to live the dream. Because I want the $1.2 million a month. I want the $1 million a month. That's the dream. That is the dream that I want. That's the income I want. You know why? Because we all did not fill out a contract, and none of us filled out a contract in which Avon put a clause saying that this is only how much you can make. They say you recruit and you get those people to recruit and sell, and we'll pay you whatever you do, whatever you can. So let's call them on that bluff. Let's call them up on it. Let's see if that's true. Let's go out there and see if we can put 10,000 people on our team. Will they stop paying us leadership checks if all 10,000, or let's say 20% of them go out, 2,000 go out there and just all of them are making over $100,000 a year. Let's see if they say, well, we can't pay you. That's too much. I doubt that they're going to say that. I doubt it. So let's go call them on their bluff. They could, like I said, we haven't, and I'm going to touch base now, we haven't seen the biggest income earner in Avon yet. We haven't seen them. We have not seen that person yet. We have to learn how to take the leadership that we see, the vision, the people that are on top, and realize that we can double what they're doing. We can triple what they're doing. See, I'm not, like I told you, when I started realizing that Lynette and I didn't fill out that contract in which Avon said that they're not going to pay us. Once I realized that, I said, yo, Lynette, let's triple what the highest income earners making. Let's have a goal to quadruple that. Let's have a goal to that when we get the 100 years in Avon, let's triple that. Let's go for it. Let's start right now to make it happen. Let's make it happen. So that's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to all the ones who are in the process with us. The process to become a better you, to take control of your life, to be able to order from the left side of the menu instead of the right where the prices are, to be able to go in a dealership and say, I want to pay cash. For all of those who want to conduct plastic surgery. What is plastic surgery? To cut up all your credit card debt, to cut up all your credit cards and be able to pay everything with cash. You know how that is? You know how it is to go into a dealership and then someone asks you and they say, well, how much money do you make a year? And you say, a month. And you say, $1.2 million. I make $1.2 million. No, so sorry, sir. I meant a month. A month, not a year. Do you want me to spell it out for you? Matter of fact, documentation beats conversation. Let me pull it out. Let's pull it out. Let's go for that. Let's push for that. This is what these calls are designed, to get you to believe in you, to believe that you can do it, to stop looking at everybody else out there that may be a senior or maybe an executive and thinking that they're on some high pedestal, that they're God and you can't get to that level. I'm telling you, you can. I'm telling you, you can. And if you don't believe in it, borrow some of my belief, borrow some of Lynette's belief, borrow all the other leaders that are on this call belief. Borrow our belief in you. We believe you can. There is no leader on this call, no senior, that don't believe in the person that just signed up on their team maybe today. They believe in them. Now it's up to them to believe in themselves and go out and make it happen. So it's not about competition. It's not about saying this call better than that call. Because you know why? It should be 4 or 5 calls in a day if you can. You should have an all-day recruiting blitz or something like that where you're going to have a call and then you invite someone else to that call and you get those people to invite someone to that call and you get someone to invite people to that call. Those are kind of the environments Lynette and I was in. That's why you always should be, I'm so glad I had to say that. I'm going to say this early. Next week, I'm going to talk about it at the end of the call. Next week, you better make sure you get on the call because we're going to have Senior Executive Unit Pat Putzer, and she's going to share with you. And then after that, and I'm going to talk about that more in the end. And then at the next call, October 20th, I'm going to talk to you about inviting, edifying, and events. Because I don't think anybody is realizing the power of those 3 things. They're not realizing the power of those 3 things. See, that's how you get to quadruple the highest income earner in here. And that's how you get the $1.2 million a month, the $800,000 a month. Their income's out there waiting for you to get it. Avon does not. They want you to call them on their bluff. Let's call them on it. Let's see if we go out there and we can put 10,000 people on our team. You got this lady in UK, Debbie Carter and her husband. They out there got, 8,000 people on their team, and you telling me you can't be done? You don't think that they got more no-shows? You don't think they got more people walking by saying, I don't want an Avon brochure? You don't think they got more people saying that, no, it's not for me? You don't think they got more? How do you think they got yes? How do you think they got 8,000 yeses? Because they went through more no's. So don't think it's about a competition. Don't think that, you're on this call. How can I get on this call and listen to Gary and Lynette? They don't make $100,000 yet. They don't make $200,000 yet. You're right. But guess what? We're on pace, and we're staying on this train going straight to Successville, and we do not realize that we do not feel in any kind of way that we are ever going to get off. So if you want to join us, because it's stopping every so often. It's stopping at this Prospectsville. It's stopping at that Prospectville. Hopefully some of those prospects say, I want to get on that success train and go to Successville with you. So that's what it's all about. We're not getting off, and I'm pretty sure other leaders are not getting off. So just to let you know that there is no reason why these companies should not, no one here should not be making $1 million a year. I don't care if they get paid 9, 10 generations deep, and we get paid 3. Let's go out there and make those 3 levels powerful. Let's make those 3 levels powerful. Because why? Why you can't have 2,000 or 3,000 on your first, and then have 4,000 or 6,000 on your second, and then have 8 to 12 on your third? Why can't happen? Because all you got to do is teach them to go out there and do what you just did on your first gen, and teach your first gen to go out there to do it for their second gen, and have your second gen do what the first gen taught them, so they can do it on their third gen. Why we can't go do that? That's what Lynette and I are fighting for. When we post on Facebook saying we're working on our millions, we ain't joking. It's blood, sweat, and tears. It's some sweat equity getting paid. It's getting paid. We are not playing. We are out there. Just like the other leaders. They're out there. They're out there. They're not playing. This is not I think I'm going to do it. We're not you never heard Lynette and I tell you that or tell you our lifestyle, because this is not the lifestyle that we want to live yet. That's why we're hungry. That's why we're hungry for success, because the lifestyle has not been achieved yet. So by all means, if there's people that's teaching the lifestyle because they're living it, go ahead. But let me tell you one thing. The people I'm learning from are people that would laugh at the incomes. They would laugh at it and guess what? Those people are still hungry. The $1.2 million earner, the $588,000 earner. They still hungry. They still doing it. They still doing it. In some way, form, or fashion, they are still out there doing it, because they understand that there is no cap on how much that you can get paid in the network marketing industry. They understand that. Too many people get to a certain level, and guess what happens? They get comfortable. They get so comfortable, and they start believing their own introduction, that they are on this big pedestal. Lynette and I, we never believe our own introduction. And all these other leaders that I mentioned on here, the Karen Tuckers, the Milagros and Carlos, Molly and Lee, Angelique, you got Tawana Lyles, you got all these people that do not believe in their own introduction. Pam, like all these people, they don't believe in their introduction. They know that it's more, that they're very humble, and it's more that they can achieve if they fight hard for it. So they're hungry too, and they want to make sure they share and give to you and help you. So to that girl that they said that to, stay strong, stay powerful, stay positive, and keep moving onward, like Molly always says, and don't care about what they say. Don't care about what they're doing. If they saying something, let me tell you something I learned as a New York City correction officer, that the inmates who hated you, when you go into your housing area, if the inmates hated you the most, you were doing your job more than correctly. You were doing your job to 150% of the capacity. You were a daggone good officer if all the inmates hated you. The ones that the inmates liked, they were the terrible officers. They were the one to give them stuff they wasn't supposed to give them, bringing food for them, sometimes bringing drugs for them, giving them everything, letting them go to wherever they want, giving them a pass so they can go roam in the hallway, go out there and stab somebody, rob somebody, in jail. You want to be the correction officer that they don't like. Why? Because that means you're doing your job. You want to be the Avon leader that people are going to be controversial. I remember Art Williams said this, and I love what he said. If you don't want to be controversial, don't do anything, don't say anything. Just live your life in a bubble by yourself if you don't want to be controversial. Because if you want something different out of life, you're going to be controversial. That's how I know, Lynette and I know, that we're on pace. That's how we know that we're on pace. Someone said earlier about that, one of my products was a little bit too expensive. Let me ask you a question. And I'm asking this and everyone else who is asking a question. 6 hours worth of training on how you can do something that you've never done before. Simple training. If someone was to come to you and say, I'm going to go ahead and pay you $100,000 in one lump sum, but I need you to pay less than $100 and get this product, and I want you to watch it and take notes, and in a month's time, tell me what you've learned, implement what you've learned, and I'll pay you How many people will be lining up paying $100? My PayPal account will be overflowing if that someone was to say that. Well, that's what that's doing. It's just there's no one at the end. There's no one standing there. There's an invisible force that's ready to pay you that $100,000 if you implement some of the stuff that's taught to you. Because we're in the struggle with you. We're in the process with you. The reason why people put a value on something and they say it's too much is because they don't see the value of what it can do for them. It can do what it can do for you. See, Lynette and I, I just spent another $80-something 2 days ago and had to put an explanation sheet into my wife to wonder why you did it. And then when I showed her what it was, guess what it was? More training material for me to get better and sharpen my mental acts. More positive material on how to be able to build a large business. And when I showed her, she said, okay, you're cleared. She stamped it approved. It was approved. I didn't have to worry about getting rejected. It was approved. The explanation, no, because she knows that she can use some of that too. That's what it's about. I don't mind making an investment. It's nothing too expensive. It's only expensive. It's only expensive because you're not making enough. See, if it's a money problem, then it's because of you. It's because you're not making enough. If you're having a people problem, it's because you don't have enough people. That's what it's about. So let me get into the 10 most important tips you can learn from the best of in Avon. And this is by Teresa Ficara, the head of leadership. We had the honor of being able to speak with her on stage and being able to hear her. This is one of the most powerful trainings there. I took notes like crazy. Besides Eva True Bell, who was equally as powerful in her training. And it's better that you hear from her because I don't think no one can do what Eva True did at that New Orleans training. She did it. Awesome, unbelievable job. I mean, it was so, Lynette and I have a saying because of Teddy Pendergrass that, make you want to throw your panties on the stage. I was ready to throw anything on the stage because how powerful that was. It was just so powerful and I learned so much. And like I said, I saw a $40,000 to $60,000 in Avon earner writing notes. See, he's hungry still. He's hungry still. Because he knows that $1.2 million, that $1 million a month is achievable. That $500,000 a month is achievable. And then you got those that don't even make nowhere near that, and they want to say, well, hey, I'm the best. You should learn from me. I'm learning for everyone. So when she wrote these 10 things, I wrote them down. And I asked her, we emailed and said, is it possible we can share this on our national call? If we can share this with people. And she said, by all means, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Because she's been visiting top leaders, and this is the things that she's learned from those top leaders. And she put them together to share with you. Now we want to share them with you since you wasn't there if you couldn't be there or you wasn't in the central region. Let me share with you. Number one, treat your business like a real business. Holla. How many people are treating this Avon opportunity as pocket money? I'm not. I'm treating it as one day going into a car dealership, and I'm not talking about, and I ain't no disrespect to any car dealers out there, no Buick, no Toyota. I'm going into the Maserati, or I'm going into the Aston Martin and asking the guy, wanting him to ask me how much you make a month so we can see what we can do, what kind of plan we can put you on. And I say, no, this is how much I make, over $500,000-$600,000 a month. Excuse me, sir, you're saying it wrong. No, $500,000-$600,000 a month. Okay, let me see. I don't think you're understanding me. Well, let me see. How about I put you on a 60-month or 72-month payment plan? Yes, you can go ahead and do that, but can I pay them all at once right now? That's what I'm talking about. Treat your business as a real business. Stop treating it as a hobby. See, Lynette and I look at our Avon business as if this was Microsoft, or as if it was Google, or as if this was Apple. We look at it like it was Amazon. We look at it as we are CEOs of our business. Are you really being a CEO of your business? See, that's why the best and the best, that's what Teresa receives from them, because she knew that they said, treat your business as a business. So you should always be knowing what your numbers are. You should make sure downline manager should be your best friend. Lynette and I are constantly pulling our numbers out, seeing where we can make improvements, how we can keep people from falling off, how we can get people who haven't placed the order yet, contacting them. We're constantly figuring out who can we help next. That it's so funny that Donna Reed Mitchell said this powerful thing. She's another one of the powerful leaders out there ready to share. And she said something really powerful. And Ever True, she had her talk with her, and it was so powerful what they said. You should never ever call someone on your team without having their numbers in front of you. You don't have to let them know that they're there, but have their numbers in front of you, because you don't know if you're making a recovery call or you don't know if you're making a motivational call to get them to the next level. See, we talk to our leaders, Lynette and I, different ways, depending on what's happening in their business. We're not going to talk to this person who's out there. We wouldn't talk to Irene Anderson the same way we would talk to someone else. Why? Because we just stepped back with her. She just boomed. Oh, that whole West Virginia team is just is on fire. If you look on a current map from space, a Google Maps, you'll see that area burning up because they tearing it up over there. So we know how to talk to that leadership different. So we may talk to another unit leader that we have on our team in a different mode. But the way we talk to them is based on what we see, because downline managers on the computer or the laptop or the iPad right in front of us. So we can know how to talk to them. This is treating your business like a real business. This is treating your teammates, your business, your management team the right way. You think that a CEO of a company is going to speak to one manager one way and not speak to the other manager without having the numbers in front of him? He's going to know if his production's up. He's going to know if his production is down, or what's happening on his team. And he's going to ask him, how can we help you get this better? How can we help you? That's how you have to communicate with your team. Treat it like a real business. And guess what? It will pay you like a real business. It may not pay you now, but if you give yourself a 5-year game plan, you never know what might happen. But I can tell you one thing. I know what will happen if you don't give yourself a 5-year game plan. Absolutely nothing. We are products of our actions and our thoughts that we've done 5 years ago. So where you are right now is a result of what you've thought about and what you've done for the last 5 years. And if you don't like where you are, you need to change it. You need to change that. Start treating your business like a real business. Stop treating it like pocket money. You think Lisa Wilbur saying that her $8, $9, $10, $15, $16,000 every 2 weeks is pocket money? Nope. That ain't pocket. If that's pocket money, I love to see what kind of pants that she has or what kind of pocketbook is she carrying, because I want to get one of those. I'll be the only guy walking around with a pocketbook that big. That's not pocket money. So you need to treat it like a real business. Number 2, work your business full-time or part-time, but not sometime. See, that's what a lot of people are doing. They work in their business sometimes. They're not working it full. Lynette and I, we work our business full-time all the time. See, they work their business part-time, work your business part-time, full-time, but not sometimes. See, I'm going to go a little bit further than that. If you have a full-time job, you better work your business part-time with a full-time mentality. You better work your business part-time with a full-time mentality. That means that there is no spare time. Because unless you don't want to make $1 million a month, $500,000 a month, $100,000 a month. I'm throwing big numbers out there because I want you to either shut down or turn it up. That's what I want you to do. Shut down or turn it up. Lynette and I are constantly turning it up, because we understand that we didn't sign a contract that said that we can't get paid based on the amount of people we bring in. They ain't say you can't bring no more than 1,000 people. You can't bring no more than 2,000 people on your team. We won't pay you if you go over that. We won't pay you 5,000. We won't pay you. They didn't say that. So we're going to turn it up. We're going to turn it up. So if you working part, you got a full-time job, that's why Lynette and I are constantly that's why I said, watch how you talk to your teammates. Watch how you talk to them. You better have downline manager up, because if you got that teammate that has a full-time job and they're working their business on a no-time basis, you can't talk to them the same way as that teammate that has a full-time job, that ignores all excuses, overcomes all the obstacles, and working their business on a part-time basis with a full-time mentality. You talk to that teammate different than you talk to the other one, because the other teammate needs some help. they're going to need to have a recovery call, a motivational call. They're going to need to get injected by some inspiration because they're letting their excuses take over them. But you'll never know if you don't have all this stuff in place. So you got to learn how to do that. And if you are full-time, if you have a part-time job or a no-time job, you better work your business with a full-time mentality. Full-time with a full-time mentality. Especially if you want to keep your car in your driveway or in the parking lot at 11 o'clock in the morning when everyone else is in traffic, or 6 o'clock in the morning when everyone else is in traffic complaining about the job, complaining about going there. But yet still they get up every day and go. Don't understand it. Don't understand it. You don't like some things. You got to see. I listened to a guy, and I heard this a long time ago, but I had to hear it again, and it was so powerful. You know, and this is the guy, one of the guys that makes that $1.2 million a year. You get what you picture. You don't get what you want. How many people here want to get to senior executive unit? How many people said that last year? How many people said that the year before, I want to get to senior, but you still ain't there? Because wanted it don't mean anything. You got to believe it. You got to seize it before you can seize it. And then guess what's going to happen? Your subconscious, your mind is going to create thoughts and actions that are going to be in line with what you need to do to go get it. See, Lynette and I, we see ourselves making $100,000 a month. We see ourselves doing it. We see the freedom. We see not having we don't know. We didn't experience the freedom of having over $100,000 a year. We didn't experience that of having $100,000 a month. We didn't experience that yet. So guess what? We had to figure out what we did not want and focus on what we wanted. So think about what we didn't want to have in our life. See, we didn't want the bill collectors calling. We don't want that. We know how that sounds. We don't want them calling. We don't want to have to duck management or duck the landlord because we owe the rent. We don't want to do that. No. We know how that feels. We know how it feels to catch the call ID and be mad when it ain't working because you want to know who's that calling you. We know how that feels. So that's why we work in our business on a full-time mentality. Our business is not on a full-time mentality. Let me correct that. You need to work your business on an all-time mentality. All-time mentality. When I was in my other companies and I would go to hang out, to go drinking with my friends and go to parties and clubbing, and maybe once a month or whenever I used to do it because I'm older now, guess what I used to do? I used to make sure I had business cards on me, and I was letting everybody I was drinking with get a business card, letting them know what I was doing. Maybe they might sign up with that being a little tipsy. They'll figure it out in the morning when they get that notification saying you just signed up. Then we'll work from that point on. Say, hey, good, you just signed up. You know what? Last night, you don't remember? You went to work with me in Avon now. You don't remember that? I'm always trying to get my weight exposed. That's how I met my wife. I went to Copacabana, and I had business cards on me. I'm not taking pictures, posting them on Facebook, unless someone got a business card in their hand. Because that's a potential prospect. Because I work my business, Lynette works her business, and all the other leaders that are on this call work their business on an all-time basis, not a sometime basis. Number 3, have a full calendar that backs up exactly what I said. Stay busy. You got to be busy daily. You got to be busy weekly. You got to be constantly looking for new customers, new recruits, prospecting every chance you get. Every chance you get. Do you know I wouldn't join some of my friends? I couldn't go if I didn't have some kind of tool in my hand, a business card or a DVD or a recruiting CD or a buzz call phone number that I couldn't give to them while we were out there hanging out. I didn't go. I was like, I don't got nothing to give them, and I really got to get them. You know, and when we didn't have our website set up, I didn't have nothing to send them. So I brought something. I made sure that I had something when I went to go hang out with the fellas. When I went to go do whatever hobbies I like to do. Are you doing that? Are you doing that? Are you going? Well, let me tell you, I take my wallet, I take my keys, cell phone when I go out the house. And guess what else I bring with me? A stack of business cards. Because I plan on giving them out and trying to obtain as much information from that person I gave it out to so I can get them into business. That's working it all time, treating it like a business. You know what you think? Do you think the best of the best is telling us some good things? We only have to number 3. Do you think they're telling us some good things? And you mean to tell me you're not taking notes? And I'm talking to you on the phone right now who ain't taking notes. You ain't taking notes? Or are you going to rely on a conference call playback? Well, what if the platform that we're using for this doesn't work anymore? What if they say, we are not giving you any more playbacks. Once the live call is over, you're done. This is how they did it 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, when there was no technology like this. Attend the live event. Because there's something about being on that live event better than saying, well, I can push 6 to pause and I can push 5 to play back again. Something better. Have a full calendar. Stay busy. Number 4, the first investment that you should always make is in yourself. That's what Lynette's talking about. When you personally develop yourself, you don't care what the naysayers say. You don't care what the other leaders say. You don't care what the competition who think that we are in competition with them think. We don't care what you think. And then I asked me, how much does it bother you? And I grabbed I took my pointer finger and I took my thumb and I squeezed it so tight together. I said, just that much? Doesn't bother me one bit. That's how much it bothers me. I squeezed as tight as I could. And when you squeeze it, there's no space in between. I don't care about what they do. Because guess what? They can't stop me from going out and making $100,000 a month. They can't stop me. Unless they physically come to the door and say, hey, I'm getting ready to shoot you because I don't want you out there making $100,000 a month. I don't want you to pass me. That's the only way you can stop me. Otherwise, you can't stop me. And that's the attitude you got to have. You got to have I will not be denied attitude. So that's why you got to work on yourself. You got to make yourself better than what you were. Every day, and they ask me, well, one time she asked me, what do you do when you wake up in the morning? I'm always trying to. I'm like Pinky in the brain. What are you planning on? What are we gonna do tomorrow, Pinky? The same thing we did today, or the same thing we did yesterday. Try to make myself better and take over the world. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm always trying to figure out how I can make myself better, how I can help someone else out there make themselves better. That's what I'm doing. That should be your number one. Are you reading 10 pages of a good self-help positive book every day? Are you doing that? Are you listening to a positive self-help CD 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes a day? Or are you like the monster that I am and you listening to it for 4 or 5 hours a day? Are you like that? Whatever way it is, it's no right or wrong way. But let me tell you what the wrong way is, not doing it at all. Just like Jeff Olson said in The Slight Edge, things that are easy to do are also easy not to do. Things that are easy to do are also not easy to do. So if you decide that you don't want to make that number one investment, which is in yourself first, it's easy not to do it too, and it's easy to do it. But to me, I believe that it's harder if I don't do it. I want to be uncomfortable now so that I can be comfortable later. I want to have the things today that I want to do the things that others don't do so I can have what they ain't going to have later on. I know I'm saying it a different way, but you get the point. See, I like what the person on this thing that makes $1.2 million a month. You know what he said? He said, I looked at all the people in the meetings, and I looked around. I saw who was in the front. I saw who was speaking. I saw the posture of everybody, and guess what I did? I did the total opposite of what the 97% were doing. Why is that? Because 97% of people are in companies and they are not making over $100,000 a year. So don't do what they're doing. Do what the 3% that are making that kind of money. I plan on doing what the 3% are doing. I plan on following suit to them. So if you see me in a meeting and I'm not speaking, I'm taking notes. If you see me in a meeting, I'm making sure I got some kind of device where I'm either recording it or I'm either recording on my phone or recording it. I'm getting some kind of information. Because you know why? I didn't sign a contract that said I can't put 10,000 people plus on my team and I can't make $100,000 a month. I didn't sign that contract. And if they revise it, then maybe I might think about, going somewhere else. But until then, I'm going to call them on their bluff because I believe in me. You got to believe in you. You got to believe you can have it. You got to believe it's achievable. You got to stop letting all these people who in our company don't want to help share and do. You got to stop thinking that they are so far above you and you can never get there. Let me tell you something. You are only a few people away from making $4,000 or $5,000 every leadership check. You're only a couple of people away. Because guess what? If you teach those couple of people to get a couple of people to get a couple of people and teach all of them how to sell and have them teach them how to sell and have them teach them how to sell and have them teach them how to sell, guess what? You can get that $4,000 leadership check too. You can get that $8,000 leadership check too. Like I always say, the difference between Lynette and I and the highest income earner in Avon is, guess what? They have more people than we do. So if that's the solving part, then I need to go get more people. So that means I need to work on myself so I can know exactly what to say and I can have some confidence and not worry about what the naysayers and the competitive heads out there want to do. Tap into the creative mind and go get those same kind of people that they have. Number 5, duplicate yourself. You should never go anywhere alone, ever. Take this down. WDMD. What duplicates makes dollars. Always remember that. Always be teaching and sharing with your downline. Always be teaching and sharing with your business team. Always be teaching and sharing. Stop trying to keep everything to yourself because you believe in your own introduction. And you think you got the scepter in your right hand and the crown on your head, and there's a big throne and servants are all around you. I don't see anybody in Avon doing that yet. I don't see anybody in that category yet. I'm looking for the ones that are the leaders that are hungry, that are willing to share. Because I know that those people, that they're going to help other people. And see, go to number 6, have a servant's heart. That's why Lynette and I do what we do. Not because we try to show you that we live in a lifestyle. We're not living a lifestyle. We are not living a lifestyle. And that's, if you from the top, we was the lowest income earners in that book and don't care. We don't care. We don't care. We title up, title down. We don't care about that. Because guess what? We did executive unit, senior executive unit. We don't care about that. Because we know that we didn't sign a contract that said that if we go out there and we put in the sweat equity and we recruit people and we teach these people how to sell and then we teach them how to recruit and we get 10,000 plus on our team, that we can make over $100,000 a month, $500,000 a month. We didn't sign a contract that said that we couldn't do that. We didn't sign that contract, so we don't care about all of that stuff. See, I don't care about the title and looking good, and I don't care about that. Lynette doesn't either. We care about the income, the life-changing income. That's why we focus on WDMD. What duplicates makes dollars. Because that's why we have a servant's heart, and we don't mind sharing. We know that number 5 is duplicate yourself, and number 6 is have a servant's heart. Build relationships, strong ones. People will quit on a boss before they quit on a friend. Think about that. I can't quit. I can't. You know what? He's my friend and she's my friend. You know what? I'll give it one more shot. A boss, see ya. Listen, you wasn't gonna give me 2 weeks if you're gonna fire me, so I'm not gonna give you 2 weeks. I'll give you 2 minutes. I'm out. I give you 2 minutes for you to let me go and get my stuff and get out of here. I never give a job 2 weeks. I've never been fired from the job, and I've quit many. And I've never given anyone, except for my last job. That's the only reason. And the only reason why I did that was for a certain reason that gave them 2 weeks. I never did. And guess what? I really gave them a week and a half. I really gave, because I called in sick and said, I'm done. I don't give them, they don't give me 2 weeks, they're going to fire me. Number 7, master prospectors have not found the highest income earner on their team yet. I tell everybody that. You have not. Why do we keep putting all these people on pedestals? Stop putting all these people on pedestals. Don't put us on a pedestal. Because guess what? You have the ability to make more than we do. You just got to go out there, get a few, and teach those few to get a few, and teach those few to get a few, and all along make sure all of them are selling Avon products. And you can get. Don't put us on a pedestal. Understand that we are in the struggle with you. We're locking arms. We're holding hands. We're hugging you. We're with you, trying to achieve that goal, trying to call Avon on its bluff to see if they will pay us what we're willing to fight for. We're in there with you. You understand? And guess what? Especially if you stop looking, you definitely won't find them. Especially if you stop looking. If you stop looking, you definitely. I can tell you right now, you ain't gonna find nobody. You ain't gonna find it for that person because you stop looking. Number 8, communication is king. Not key. It's key too, but it's king. Communication. You have to learn how to talk and communicate with your team. Communicate with whatever way it is. Communicate. Talk with them. You can never communicate too much. You can never communicate too much. I think I talk to them too much. Lynette, Lynette, and I always say, I don't think I talk to Irene too much. I say, Lynette, you don't, because they talk all the time. And guess what? It's always about strategizing, getting to the next level, doing what they have to do to figure out how to move that team, move this team. We don't feel like we're talking too much. And if we did, I'm pretty sure she would tell us, you're talking to us too much. But she understands that she has the same goal, to leave her car in the parking lot at 8 o'clock in the morning, or leave her car in her driveway at 8 o'clock in the morning when everyone else is bumper to bumper in traffic complaining about going to a just over broke, reporting to a double SOB spelled backwards. That's what she's fighting for. She's fighting for that $100,000 a month, that $200,000 a month, that $50,000 a month, that $10,000 a month, that $5,000 a month. That's what she's fighting for. So talking too much is not a problem. We don't mind. I tell her that all the time. I think that she has a phone growing out of her ear. And she says, yep. Matter of fact, I'm going to get a matching set so I can have it in the other one. Because we need to communicate with our team to make sure that they're believing and they're going. Number 9, never stop believing. Never stop believing in this industry, the network marketing industry. Never stop believing in Avon Products, the company itself. Never stop believing in your teammates, and especially never stop believing in yourself. See, I can talk to someone for 5 minutes. I can talk to someone at a leadership school, an event, whatever. I can talk to them for 5 minutes, and I can tell whether or not that person believes that they're going to make it. You look at a leader who's making it, they believe in themselves. They believe in their company. They believe in this industry. They believe in their teammates. If you look at a person who ain't achieving that level, it's they don't believe in themselves. I can look at a person that has no one on their team, talk to them for 5 minutes, not one person. They just signed up, and I can talk to them for 5 minutes, and I can tell whether or not that person believes in themselves, and that person's going to make it, based on what they say. Based on what they say. Well, people ain't going to show up. You picturing people ain't going to show up. Well, nobody's going to buy Avon products. Well, you picturing people ain't going to buy Avon products. Well, I ain't going to get no teammates. Well, you picturing that too. Well, I'm not going to get the senior executive leader. Well, you picturing that too. I want what I picture. I want to seize it before I can seize it. I want that $100,000 a year, that $100,000 a month, that $200,000 a year. I want that. Because I know I didn't sign a contract in which Avon said that I can't do that. We didn't sign that contract. And if we did, I wish they'd hurry up and call us and say, so we can move on to a company that's not going to let us do that. That's going to give us a contract where we can do what we want as long as we put the sweat, equity in, and the time, and the consistency, and the communication, and duplicate ourselves and have a servant's heart and become a master prospector. That's the company I want to get involved in. And I think we have that company here. But we just got to believe that we have that company. We got to never stop believing. We have to never stop believing. I'm telling you, everyone, and I'm talking to you right now, you, whoever's listening about what I'm about to say, when you waste your time getting on Facebook complaining, I'm talking to you. You're the one that Lynette and I, when we read it, we say, done. They're not going to make it. They don't believe in themselves. All they see is the negative parts. That's all they see. They ain't going to make it. Yeah, you're done. And sometimes we want to send you back your $10. Even though you ain't on our team, we want to send you your $10 back. Because we want to say, take that $10 and invest it in one of those companies that cost $500 or $600 to join. Because you don't believe in yourself. And you're not going to make it because you're taking time out of your daily schedule to type a whole paragraph of how bad your day has been because nobody showed up. Do you think Debbie Carter-Davis, who has almost 8,000 people, if not over, on their team, do you think that she didn't get people who didn't show up? What did she do? She took a whole paragraph and wrote on Facebook about why this is happening bad? She didn't do that. She pumped herself up. She knew her greatest investment was to be able to pump herself up and motivate herself so she can go on. You don't think that all leaders, Milagros, Angelique, and Karen Tucker, and Malia, you don't think they get more no's than you do? I'm talking to you who take the time and get on there and complain. You think they don't get more no's than you? You don't think we get more no's than y'all? And guess what? You don't know about it because we're not going to share it. We prefer to put ourselves in a positive bubble, bouncing in that bubble all the way on the success train to get to Successville. We're playing bubbles, all right. in the positive bubbles, bouncing around. You ever seen the boy that live in the bubble? Well, me and Lynette live in the bubble, and it's a positive bubble. So anytime negativity comes, it bounces right back off. Because we ain't got time to sit there in front of our laptop or our phone, and especially if you have an iPhone with the smallest keyboard out there, the smallest screen, and you're typing a whole paragraph of how bad Avon is and how bad it is because someone didn't show up or how bad you're feeling. We ain't got time for that. We don't want to hear that. Whenever someone tells me something negative, you know what? I look at it like they cursing at me. That's exactly how I feel about it. Like they saying the F word or something to me. When they say something negative, I don't want to hear that. You have no idea how I'm on Facebook going, I don't want to see that. They get their little prompt up in the right where you can click it. It says embed or follow post. I must go. I don't want to see that about, no lie. I don't even go on my newsfeed half the time. I go in there, you see a whole bunch of likes, and that's it. Because I don't want to see that. It's bad enough. And what's good is Facebook is learning it. So it's only showing me stuff that I want positive now, that I want to see that's positive. It's learning my style. I don't want to see that. Nobody cares about how you feel. No, 80% of people don't care about you, and 20% are glad you're having that problem and not them. So why are you complaining? Why are you spending all that time writing a whole paragraph about what's not going right in your business? And guess what? 80% of the people, even if they comment under it, even if they like it, they really don't. 80% of people don't care about that. And 20% probably are the ones that's liking it and commenting are glad you're having that problem and not them. So you just wasted your time. You just wasted your time. You need to never stop believing you can make it. I remember one of my mentors told me that whenever someone asks me, how is the business going, and I made no sales, I had recruited nobody, guess how you respond? Just wonderful. It's awesome. This business is unbelievable. Every time. He said, when someone asks you how you feel and how you used to respond, he said, always feel outstanding. Outstanding. I don't feel good. I feel okay. Outstanding. Wonderful. Powerful. This business is awesome. This business is, because we're not talking in the now. We're talking what we're picturing. We're talking what we're seizing before we seize it. You got to say it. You got to never stop believing that you're going to get it. You know how many times I've asked somebody, how's that business going for you? It's going okay. And I texted them back, or they asked me, it's going okay. It's just not going as fast as I want. And I've been Unileader for 5 years already, and it's not. Well, that's why you were Unileader for 5 years, because all you see is the 5 years. Now, when you respond to me like this and say, it's going wonderful, I'm recruiting, I'm doing what I got to do, I don't care, I see more recruits, more prospects out there. They haven't joined yet, but I'm going to keep on trying. I know the fortune's in the follow-up, and I'm going to keep going. Then I know that you'll believe in this company. Last one before I get into announcements. Make time to celebrate and have fun. Celebrate all of your victories that you're having. Even if you made just one phone call, even if that person didn't join you, and you've never made a phone call before, and you're really trying to get someone to get here, celebrate that victory. Celebrate it. Celebrate and have fun. This business is only hard, and it's only sad, and it's only painful if you make it that way. You make it that way. That's why it's hard. That's why you're complaining. That's why you take a whole year and put a whole big thing on Facebook complaining. I can tell who don't listen to my calls in the leadership group that you're with leadership. I can tell who don't. The ones that's complaining, that took a whole year writing a whole paragraph, and then all the ones that's commenting in under it. They don't listen to my call because they stop believing. They're gonna stay where they are forever while everyone else is moving. And that's why you look around and wonder why everyone else is moving and you're not. Because those people are buying into the fact that they're going to never stop believing, that they're going to celebrate their victories. Thank you. I'm going to unmute the line, and I want everyone to scream at the top of their lungs. Top of their lungs. At the top of their lungs. I want everyone to scream that I'm going to follow those 10 tips. I'm following those 10 tips. I'm following those 10 things. Whatever way you want to call it. I'm following those 10 things. Or I'm following the 10. You can short it down. I'm following the 10. But before you get off, make sure that you get on a call next week. See, this is the leader that we're going to have, the guest speaker, Pat Putzer. She doesn't believe in her own introduction because she's hungry. She still wants more. She knows that it's achievable. She knows that she can get it. And she's willing to share. She has a servant's heart to help you, to serve you. In whatever way, see, people want us to they declassify the servant's heart and the capacity that the person want to give it to them. See, Lynette and I can't mentor to you one-on-one in detail because we have our own team to build, just like she does. But there are other platforms. For example, her being a guest speaker on our call next week. That's her way of mentoring you with her story and her tips and her strategies. That's where the servant heart is. Oh, Gary, you don't have a servant's heart because you don't want to mentor me one-on-one. I have my own team to build. Sorry. I have to get that $100,000 a month, but I can mentor you via conference calls and the videos I provide and the blogs I write. That's exactly what Pat Puts is going to do next week. So you need to make sure you get there. If you've requested to her or wishing that she would mentor to you, guess what? She's going to do that now. She's going to mentor to you, especially if you're not on her team. If you're on her team, I know she's mentoring to you. She's going to do that via next conference call as a guest speaker to tell you. So you need to make sure. Listen, I'm already there, and it ain't. We're still in this Sunday. I'm already there. I see myself sitting right down at the table with my notes and taking notes. Like I've taken with every single senior executive unit or executive unit leader that was a guest speaker. Because guess what? I watched a man in Avon that makes $40,000 to $60,000 a month take 4 pages of notes, and his wife takes 6 pages of notes. And if they taking notes, I'm taking notes. Because I don't have what they have, and I want what they have. And they probably take notes because they watched a $1.2 million a month earner take notes. So you better make sure you be there next Sunday. And then after that, we're going to do inviting, the power of inviting, edifying, and the power of events. Because I think people are missing the mark. You're supposed to always be inviting, always be inviting, always be inviting, always. So we're going to unmute the line. Make sure that you please scream, I'm doing the 10. I'm doing the 10. Give us a second. And thank you so much, everybody, for showing up.
I'm doing the 10.
I'm doing the 10. On our way. Yeah, I'm doing the 10.